before I ask my question. So do you come from Holocaust survivors, or are you a Jewish family that didn't?
So my great-great-grandparents arrived here. A lot of our extended family was killed in the Holocaust, but our immediate
Your
family
great-great-grandparents, but not your grandparents.
Right.
Oh, do you have friends whose grandparents were Holocaust survivors or anything like that?
Of course, many of them. Yeah, I've helped write memoirs of Holocaust survivors.
Yeah. Their families are kind of messed up, right? Like, my family is very messed up.
I mean, if you go through a trauma like the Holocaust, I would imagine
they teach that trauma between generations. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, trauma very often in a lot of circumstances is passed down. I mean, I know some kids of Holocaust survivors who turned out fantastic and some who didn't. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, so you are officially woke. That is what wokeness is about. It's like, people's grandparents or their great-grandparents were slaves.
Well, that's okay. No,
I'm talking!
Whoa, young man. Jeez, you are... Relax, bro. Relax, bro. I thought it was going to take some time to get there or something, but Cuz was just like, I'm already, look, y'all got me effed up. You going to be up there yelling at me just because I called Ben Shapiro woke. No, seriously, though, I have a question. Why was him calling Ben Shapiro woke a bad thing? Now, I know that a lot of y'all saying the woke people are the liberals who think ridiculously about this, that, and this, and they're trying to make everything a super issue when they could just understand the goodness of the country and the things, all of the privileges they have and the rights they have, and that everybody is fair game. Listen, I understand all that, but he said, is he trying to say that Ben Shapiro is just like him? Is that the big deal? Is he trying to say that you and I believe the same things? That's what wokeness is. Because that's what I think he's trying to say. Okay, look, I asked y'all for a reason, all right? Because I don't know. And yeah. And also, we got a new button below our video called the thanks button. Anyone who feels so obliged to hit that will be greatly appreciated. Okay, let's go.
Guys, I actually want to hear. I want to hear. No, it's okay. It's okay. I want to hear. Let's at least hear the argument. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Go.
Let's hear it.
He wants to hear me.
I do want to hear it. It's fine.
I'm talking.
Explain how that's woke.
So, I mean, the whole thing is like, let's see. So during Silent Calvin Coolidge's administration, do you know about like the Great Mississippi Flood back in the 1930s?
I understand that American history is filled with racial evil.
Yeah. And that causes some intergenerational trauma, which affects people's ability to be, effective, things like that.
Fine. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why? So if the idea is that history has consequences, of course that's true. That's not wokeness.
Yeah.
That is not wokeness. What wokeness suggests is that fundamental institutions in American society
are so... No, it doesn't.
Yes, it 100% does.
I ran Elizabeth Warren's campaign. I helped organize her volunteers around here.
You're not making it better for yourself, young person. Young man. You're not making it better for yourself. Also, man, you can't yell at people and tell them not to interrupt you or not to respond to you the way that they're responding if you're not even going to allow Ben Shapiro to answer your question fully without you interjecting on him. It's the same way, as soon as you interject on Ben Shapiro, he can tell you, F you, I'm talking. And how would you feel if he was to throw that back on you? Because we got to consider those things. You can't have it both ways. Give the man an opportunity to talk, and then you go, and then you talk, all right? I understand debate. The debate is, you jump over top of people. Who got the best? Who? Sometimes it don't have to be that. It would be far more productive if y'all just take your time and just listen, and then ask another question, follow-up question if you have one, and then take your time and listen. You know what I mean?
I am a representative of wokeness.
Okay. Well,
and that's just, this is all it is.
Well,
when I went to go get my first tattoo, the guy had lightning bolts and 88s tattooed on his neck. And as a Jewish person, that's really messed up. It's basically a threat.
Okay, lightning bolts and 88s. What does that mean? Lightning bolts and 88s. Wow. I got to do my Googles. I got to do my Googles. Sheesh.
And as a Jewish person, that's really messed up. It's basically a threat.
There are racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because this is going in weird directions, and I don't really want to.
No, it's not
I
going
don't.
in a
I don't
weird
really
direction.
want to get. Just hold up a second. I let you get out your arguments, and now it's time for me to respond because I let you say the full argument.
I'll let you respond, but
no, not but. Now's my turn.
Now it's her turn.
You are not characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
Now it's my turn. Your definition is inaccurate. The reason your definition is inaccurate is because any sentient human being would acknowledge that history has consequences.
Right.
But if the idea is, but that's not what wokeism is. Wokeism is a different thing. Wokeism suggests that all inequalities of today are attributable to not only historic injustices, but also continuing injustices in the now. And that all disparity is attributable to discrimination.
Like that, but a conservative.
Not just that.
A conservative is the only person. I want to know why. Why is it that conservatives are the only people who define it like that? Why are conservatives the only people?
Okay, so we're gonna have to stop here because this is going nowhere. But
what's up?
So they're just trying to find the true definition of wokeness. Is that what this is?
I'm gonna have to stop with this with you because this is going nowhere. All I'm going to say is this. To sum up,
I just am trying to understand your perspective.
You're not going to get you. You're not even going to get your chance to talk.
You say
on a fundamental level, you're shifting definitions to avoid the consequences of your own argument. And if the idea is, final point. If you are going to hold on, if you are also, just final point to sum up there. Final point to sum.
I can follow that.
Yeah, one more. I just want to make honestly. I want to make one final point to sum up there. If the idea is that traumas of the past invariably bleed down into the present, that does not explain why certain groups that have been historically not only marginalized but slaughtered in mass genocide are some of the most successful groups in our society. So if the idea is,
I would really like to hear y'all point of view on that part right there. I really would like to hear that. I'm not gonna keep on saying it. Y'all already know. It goes without saying right now that I'm jumping into this, trying to learn as much as I possibly can about these things. Just imagine what I know about Jews and Judaism. You know what I mean? So whatever y'all can share will be amazing. All right, let's get back to
successful groups in our society. So if the idea is, that past trauma always equals current inequality, or that my actions in, say, robbing a convenience store are attributable to bad actions that happened in Alabama in 1930, the answer to that is no. Don't rob the convenience store. The only way that you're going to be able to break the chain of history is to make good decisions. What people on the left don't like to talk about is actual solutions.
That is absolutely the truth, man. Before, I like to say that my number one accomplishment ever is being a father. That's it. Being a father is my biggest accomplishment. If anybody ever asks me, or I don't care how many accolades I ever get, how much money I ever make, I don't care about any of that, bruh. My biggest accomplishment is me being a dad. And before my kids used to leave the house, my wife, oh my gosh, my wife used to say one thing to the kids, and they was around 5 years old when she started telling them this. She used to say, make good choices, be a good friend. Ever since they was like 5, probably younger than that, my gracious. But she used to say, make good choices, be a good friend to my children. And all of them listened. All of them made good choices. All of them made sure that they were good friends. And they always had remarkable friends around them that they was drawing near, close to them. And that is important. If you don't have anybody in your corner, making sure that you do those type of things, like rob convenience stores and all this other stuff, then they're not gonna be able to prevent you from going that route. Everybody don't have that person in their ear saying you need to make good choices, and that's unfortunate that it goes all the way down. And it starts actually before the father in the home Yeah, I mean, it's it's bigger than that. It takes a community, but at the end of the day, all the school systems and everything that's applied there plays a part. Everybody who you allow to babysit your children at a very young age plays a part. Everyone you allow to be around your children at all plays a part. And if one thing is missing, then they are going to feel like I can go back on these times and use this as an excuse as to why I'm being what I'm being right now. I got all this pain and frustration and which is complete BS. It's honestly it is. I mean, yeah, we go through a lot of things. We look back on how we were treated and all this other stuff. I'm talking about every single one of you out there can look back on the trauma of either yourself, your family members, or your race of people, and you can go back on that and be like, or your genre. I mean, not your genre, or your god damn it, or your sex. You can go back on that, like how women were treated, how you know what I mean, how white men now are considered the most discriminated against, and that's textbook right there. So it's not textbook, but it's a lot of people who like Ben Shapiro and other guys who have broken it down and as to why that is, and whether you buy into that or not, that it is what it is. But everybody don't have that person to say make good choices, and this is what they do. They go back and they take it all out the wrong ways. Apologize for talking too much, guys. Okay.
History is to make good decisions. What people on the left don't like to talk about is actual solutions. What they like to do is bitch about problems that existed 60 years ago and blame those for failures to solve them now.
He said what he said. Y'all please let me know what y'all thought about this in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. You all have been amazing. Love y'all.